Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Ask an Autism Mom. I'm Jen Eggert of LAKIKID.com, and you can join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern to meet other parents, learn tips and tricks, and share your insights. On today's show, we'll be back with Kori, mom of three, special needs mom of two, who is a blogger and a parenting coach. Um, I want to welcome those of you watching live on Facebook or listening to the podcast or on YouTube or on iTunes as well. If you want to get alerts to join us live and ask questions live, you can visit lakikid.com/live or type the number 5 in the comments section now. Now, if you're just joining us, you're listening to Ask an Autism Mom. Sorry. And today, Kori and I are sitting down to have a real talk. No holds bar. This is real life of an autism mom. We're talking mental health. So we can't wait to dig into this topic with you today. But first, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by LAKIKID.com. This month, we celebrate the launch of our newest product, the new Right and Chill weighted lap pad on Kickstarter. We're having a special launch party for our Kickstarter on Tuesday, May 7th. That's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we will be giving away over $270 worth of prizes. For those of you who can't join us live tomorrow, you still have a chance to win by visiting us at lakikid.com/Kickstarter to sign up for a special Kickstarter launch giveaway, where we will be giving away 3 of our products each week. So come join us at lakikid.com/Kickstarter to celebrate and have some fun. Remember, folks, this is the Ride and Chill. It is the 2.8 pound, almost 3 pound writable lap pad. You use a water pen and you design, write, draw, and then when it dries, the design goes away. Trust me, my children love it. Now, I'm so happy to see all of you join us. We have Jess and Deborah and Jessica and Shannon. Hi, everybody. Today is going to be different. Kori and I are going to talk. There's no interview. There's no set questions I'm going to be asking her. We are going to talk, and we want you to be part of the conversation. So ask your questions during the show. Talk, give your comments during the show. Be part of the show with us. Again, I am interviewing Kori. Well, not interviewing, talking with Kori, who is a stay-at-home mom and blogger. She has 2 special needs children, 1 non-special needs child or neurotypical. She is also a parenting, and you're a parenting coach, right, Kori?
A parenting coach, and as I call myself, a Autism Family lifestyle blogger.
Okay.
So it's all about balancing autism, family, real life, and all that good stuff.
And that's one thing I want people to understand. Balancing life is hard.
It's an illusion, actually.
It is.
I think so.
So, first, I just want to let you guys know that any caregiver of a special needs person risks what's called caregiver burnout. That's when you completely you're done. It's, as my grandmother used to say, your goose is cooked. Now, I want to let you also know that caregivers have a much higher rate of anxiety, depression, sleep issues, and more. If you suffer from any of these, please seek professional help. Doctors, therapists, counselors, parenting coaches can also kind of give you a walk through. Kori, I bet you've had parents that you've walked through this mental health minefield with.
Oh, absolutely. But there's only so much I think that parenting coaches are either capable of doing or are certified to do.
Right.
Because so many of us, we don't have that next step of professional credentials. I mean, my background for education for college was in psychology, um, but I still don't have that, you know, the PhD or anything after my initials.
So if you're having major issues, folks, call a therapist, call your doctor.
Hmm.
Start there. Um, I know many companies offer, I want to say it's called an EAP,
Yeah,
which is 5 free sessions of counseling. Find out if your insurance offers it. You'd be
yeah, I think
surprised how much 5 sessions help.
yeah, and I think most insurance companies now are offering, or at least they're offering better um, mental health services with their basic plans, which is awesome because
Yes,
we can take care of ourselves, you know, physically as best we can, but if we're not taking care of ourselves mentally, we're still not going to be in the best place.
I agree. Deborah, welcome. Shannon, welcome. Hey, Jason. Amber, hi. Callie, welcome. Linda, hi, welcome. You know, Melinda's been with us from pretty much day one. So, everybody, I want to welcome you again and remind you today's show is very different. Chime in. If you have something to say it. We want to hear from you. Um, so Kori and I have been doing a lot of shows together, as you've noticed, and a lot of work together. And we came upon this taboo subject that nobody wants to talk about, but everybody needs to know about. It's mental health. How many parents are willing to say, I struggle from mental health issues? Most parents or caregivers actually have PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, just from diagnosis alone, folks. That's not from the sleepless days, the meltdowns, the constant dealing with IEPs and school problems and behavioral problems. And Kori and I could go on and on about all the issues we face for hours.
If your child has, my daughter has a history of eloping, so I've got the
Yes.
whole hypervigilance thing added in there too, which also very closely resembles PTSD. So some days I'm not sure. Like, all right, there's something going on here. I'm not sure what. There's something.
And that's the thing, folks. We all battle it. So why not admit it and open discussion? I am tired of mental health being this quiet little thing. I remember as a child being raised around my uncles, and they were schizophrenic. And it was hush hush. You never admitted it. My uncle died in his 60s, and he never really was accepted because of that side of him. And I don't like that.
Mhm.
I want everyone to be accepted for who they are, how they are, and that everything changes. I will be right back, Kori, if you want to
Okay.
continue for 1 second.
Um, and it's interesting too that we are, you know, having this conversation right now because in the United States, May is Mental Health Month, and I just went to the National Alliance on Mental Illness website, and one of their things on here even says 1 in 5 people who's going to be affected by mental illness in their lifetime. Um, for me personally, this started when I was a teenager, and um, I don't want to say that it's gotten better. It's not that it's gone away or that I don't think it ever will go away. It's just sometimes I've learned better coping strategies. Um, yeah, Callie and Melinda, absolutely. We and Jess, see, look at this. You know, a lot of us we struggle with these things, and I think it's time. It's high time that we all just we accept this for what it is and stop with all the judgment and the negativity on people who have mental health issues because it affects more people than I think we're ever going to realize. And the more that we talk about it and the more that we are open about it, And yeah, I'll say for myself personally, the reason I don't like talking about it or that I haven't talked about it in the past is because I hate being vulnerable like that because I had always been in the mindset that it made me look weak. And, when you feel weak and you feel exposed, you feel like someone's going to attack you for that kind of stuff. When in reality, if I am owning my mental health issues, I'm not being weak. That's a sign of strength, And I'm not saying that. Good afternoon, Pauline. You know,
Sorry, folks, I'm
nope,
back.
that's okay. We were just talking about the fact that May is Mental Health Awareness Month in the States. And according to the what is this again? National Alliance on Mental Illness, 1 in 5 people will be affected by mental illness in their lifetime.
And when you look at special needs parents, the numbers actually almost triple,
Yep. Yep.
which is scary. Now, let me go back. Jess, I know I've spoken to you multiple times and I know you struggle with mental health, but you're doing so great right now. Melinda, you're like me. It comes and it goes. You have your good days and your bad days. And Kori and I both admit we have our good days and bad days.
There are some days
Um,
that I have my good hours and my bad hours.
Sometimes it's minute to minute. Let's
Yeah.
admit it, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Some days, especially lately, some of you may have seen I'm dealing with one of the millions in America dealing with invisible illness. I had to actually go off a minute ago because my insurance called again. But with all of that going on, I find I struggle from second to second. I'll be happy, and then my or daughter will say something, and I'll be like, where did that come from? I'm so angry. Now, Kori, did we deal with Callie's comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Callie, please know that you can probably get free counseling and therapy for yourself and your family in the wake of losing your ex-boyfriend. I know he was your ex, but exes still have a pivotal role in our lives, especially, I don't know if it's your situation, if we share a child. I know Kori shares a child with someone and they may not be best friends, but they share a child together. And what happens
Oh,
to
yeah.
him still affects you, right, Kori?
Oh, absolutely. Um, we are, which again, this is a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, but learning how to co-parent with my ex was, I still struggle with that. Um, but ultimately, it was what's going to be best for our daughter. Um, and he might not be best for me anymore, but he's still what's best for her.
And
But
maybe
again,
that's something that
different
you and
topic,
I,
different day.
Kori, can go on another day is
Yeah.
co-parenting a special needs child, because I don't think we've ever looked at that before. Pauline, hey, I will call you back today, Pauline. I promise. Pauline is one of my dear friends who called me last night and kind of got cut off because it was a rough night. Jessica has struggled with anxiety for years, more after her son was born and medical issues, going through cancer twice, and my son's issues hasn't been easy. Jessica, like I said, I get it. I'm one of the millions battling invisible illness. People don't see it, but it's there. People don't see cancer a lot of times, but it's there. And then you add a special needs child. And I will admit, this is the only part of my house you're allowed to see because I struggle. My house is not the way my OCD self wants it to be because my health has declined. And as my health has declined, my mental health has declined. My insurance is actually pushing me into therapy, which I will be starting very soon because of this. And Melinda, Kori and I agree fully. It feels good to be able to say, hey, I do struggle. I don't have it all together. I'm human and I need help.
Yes,
Kori, I mean,
which I was saying when you were on the phone. The reason I never talked about it before is because to me it was always, I felt like I was being weak and that I was showing weakness by saying, "Oh, I've got these struggles." But then I had this like epiphany about it. I'm like, I'm not being weak. I'm being strong because I'm saying, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. I'm taking ownership of this crap. Is it still sucks and it's still not easy to deal with, but this is not being weak at all, at all.
we need to speak.
Hmm.
We need to say, hey, look at me. I need help.
Yep. And there's nothing weak about that.
No,
Absolutely
there's
not.
nothing. Pauline, we agree. Special needs parents often suffer the most.
And
Um,
that's the other part of it too, is that at least I found for me, I've lost, quite a few friends, because I just don't have the time
mhm.
to do certain things anymore. Or, I didn't have a very small or very big circle of friends to begin with. And now, parenting special needs kids, it's isolating. It's really isolating. And then you add on to that, when you're a stay-at-home mom, it can be even more isolating because oftentimes we
Mhm.
just get into this point where it's like, this is our comfort zone and we don't want to leave the comfort zone. So we've got all of these things that are just kind of pushing against us from the outside.
Plus, oftentimes our social group, our circle of friends, are friends that we've had for years
Hmm.
who don't know what our life is like. I mean, more so Corey's daughter's older, but Riley's 7. A lot of my friends just don't understand.
Hmm.
I mean, I've had friends question, "Well, are you sure she's autistic?" Yes, we're sure. Well, can you take her out? They don't understand, and it makes it harder
Yeah.
because you're constantly explaining, "No, I can't do that. No, I can't go out. No, I can't." Because there was a time when Riley couldn't do any of that. Now, I have a comment from Yvonne that I want to
Yeah.
um
I was just reading that too.
yes, Kori, I want you to handle that one because
Okay. She
you being a
says,
single mom would be better.
single mom of a child autism spectrum, although he is high functioning, it's been a struggle with obtaining his diagnosis and journey. She's done this all alone. Um, Her son's father has had zero presence. He was an abusive partner. So she goes through bouts of depression, not so much the sadness, but the physical fatigue and struggling to get motivated. And Yvonne, I just want to reach out, give you a virtual hug, um, because that's just the other thing too. When people say they have a depression or when they get diagnosed with depression, because that whole, like the stereotypical viewpoint of someone who's depressed is that they're always sad. And I think that's one reason why people are just so quick to write it off because they're like, well, you're not crying all the time. You don't look depressed. Like, look, sometimes my depression looks like I'm really angry and I'm
Yep.
really pissed off or that I just don't have the motivation to do something. My anxiety looks really productive because I'm thinking about a lot of things and I'm overthinking a lot of things. That's what my anxiety looks like.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like I'm afraid to leave my house. It doesn't look like I don't want all the time. It doesn't look like I don't want to deal with people. My anxiety is very productive because I can't sleep because I have so much running through my head.
Yes.
Um, and I think that was the other thing too. I think this is the other reason why it's so important to talk about mental health because it looks different for so many people.
And her last line, people don't understand that mental health issues come with fatigue.
Hmm.
Everything going through your
Hmm.
head makes you tired after a while.
Oh, we have a couple of comments here that I would like to.
Yes.
There's one from Kali, Kaylee. I don't
Kaylee.
want Kaylee. I don't want to mess up her name. She says in the African
Allie.
American community, mental health is frowned upon. So I've always hid it, but as my daughter gets older and it's becoming an everyday struggle with her mental illness, it's really tough. The reason I want to talk to you specifically about that, um, one is recognizing mental health issues in the minority community. Um, no offense, and I'm not trying to start race wars here, but for minorities, um, it does need to be addressed. And similar to the African American community, for Asian Americans, we have this like family stigma almost, and this familial pressure. It's like, whoa, I can't be perfect, so back off. And it, it's tough because then you have all these other different factors in there, and oh, man, it's yep. Jason just said too. This is the same in the Asian community. People just don't talk about the mental issues. And it's
And
true. We don't.
it's true. And remember, this is why Jason started LAKIKID,
Yep.
because he came from Japan where there was no treatment for his son. There
Yep.
was no help. So instead of hiding behind the mask of everything's perfect, which most minorities are being forced to do, Jason
Mhm.
took a leap of
Mhm.
faith, and him and his wife moved to the United States and got their son treatment. That was a huge move. And I can tell you, Jason and his wife probably had so much anxiety just from having to leave all that's familiar to give their
Mhm.
children a better life. And that's why he
And
created LAKIKID, was because we wanted an open place for people to be honest, for people to help each other.
Nora, she says that she is struggling all the time. She is a single mom with a daughter, Cheyenne, who is
Yes.
nonverbal and has epilepsy. Um, that nonverbal autism piece, I've got quite a few posts over on my blog about that, just because that's another one of those. Um, I went through, I've talked about it openly on my blog, but I went through, it was the disenfranchised grief. Or it's a special kind of, it's not disenfranchised necessarily, but there's a different type of grief that I think some parents do go through with the autism diagnosis. And it's not that your child, obviously, we know our child is still here. But for me, it was that all of the hopes, all of the dreams, all of the everything I had for my child up until that point are just gone and they were just taken away. Um, I still love my daughter. I will always love my daughter. But then when we got the nonverbal diagnosis on top
Mhm.
of that, it's like, oh, okay, this is the second punch. Thanks ever so much. I was just, I was devastated. I think I might have cried and might have been more upset when we, you know, finally realized that she was going to be non-speaking. And
I think every piece that came in the puzzle
yeah,
of
yeah,
the autism
hmm
diagnosis was another punch to the gut.
yeah,
The
and
OCD, the sleep, the
uh-huh, uh-huh.
verbal issues, the reciprocal and not non-reciprocal verbal skills. It's a punch.
And Jessica said that it took her a few years to actually open up, and now she is definitely getting good. That is awesome.
Pauline, I agree. Pauline is my tribe. She is the woman that picks me up when I am down. She always
And
tells me, "You're not a super mom."
oh, I dropped that supermom mentality because that just made me even more stressed out because I was trying to live up to this vision of perfection in my head, and I put so much stress and internal pressure on myself. It was ridiculous.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
Now, Angel, I want to get to you. Angel has depression, anxiety, manic depression, bipolar, and social anxiety. My house is a disaster, and we argue about it. She started new meds and hoping to see the mental health 2 times a week. She's so depressed with zero energy and not being able to afford anything Timmy needs, like the weighted blanket or anything that can help him at all. It kills her. I want to deal with this on two different fronts, Angel. Thank you. I am so proud of you for seeking the help that you need.
Hmm.
I will admit, I am bipolar. I take medication every day to control my bipolar and insomnia. Um, my house is a disaster sometimes. Yes, my husband and I argue about it, but we're learning to work together. Now, on another front, Angel, I want to say tomorrow I am hosting a special Trivia Tuesday where you can have chance to win items that would benefit your child. And we're also opening up a contest tomorrow where we will do 3 winners a week for the month to win different things to help your children, different Lackey Kid products. So please, Angel, try and catch us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, or watch the replay to find out how to enter for more, because we can hopefully you can win and get your son some products. If you wait till the end of the show, I will explain more about tomorrow. Yvonne, I'm so happy that this is helping you. Kori and I realized 2 weeks ago this is needed. This is.
And Yvonne is also saying she's so involved, and this is something I think moms in general, we are so guilty of doing this. We are so involved with everything else that we are usually last on our list of priorities. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face. You cannot pour from an empty cup, even if it's 5 minutes a day. Do something for yourself. And here's the other thing, because I think the reason we don't do it is because we start thinking, oh my God, I'm being so selfish by doing so. You are not being selfish by taking care of yourself. Okay?
Yep.
Because they tell you, if you've ever been on an airplane, they tell you you got to put your oxygen mask on first. So think about that. They tell you oxygen mask first. You make yourself a priority.
If you don't put your oxygen mask on first, you're no good to get to. You can probably get to your first daughter, but can you get to your third by the time you make it there?
Yep. Angel
And I want to talk about a meme I saw, and it's kind of funny, but it was a meme on Facebook that says, spends $40 on a shirt for my daughter, thinks nothing of it, looks at $12 leggings for myself and thinks, no way.
I do that all the time with my daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, she has, I don't know how many pairs of sunglasses because we went to Target, and she sees these sunglasses. She's like, Mommy, I want these sunglasses. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. So
Riley's shoes.
Yeah, we buy the sunglasses, and then we're over at like the discount rack, looking at jeans for me. And I'm like, I can't buy these. I have jeans already that fit, that they
aren't that bad. I've only owned them for about 5 years. They're still okay. But we can't do that, folks. We've got to put ourselves first. I mean, I felt real guilty when my husband announced my birthday gift this year. Concert tickets, something him and I enjoy. But it's that taking that little bit of time away to regroup, put myself back together, do something I enjoy, and then come back, and I am a better parent for it after.
Okay, so Angel says too, she was sitting in a parking lot yesterday and Timmy threw trash out the window. I was about to pick up. A lady walks up and says, your child threw trash. I said, I know, I'm getting it. She says he shouldn't do that. I said he don't understand his special needs. And then she says he still shouldn't do that. This isn't the place. So I say, lady, he doesn't understand, and I'm picking it up. It was a piece of paper. You know, that right there was one of the main reasons I avoided leaving my house with my daughter.
Yep.
It wasn't so much that I didn't think that she could handle the outside world or that she couldn't handle public situations. And it was the judgment and all of like the snide remarks or the little under the breath comments from people that maybe she couldn't hear, that she couldn't see, but that I could hear and that I could see. And I only have so much tolerance, usually about that much.
Yep.
For people who aren't in my family or who don't know my daughter. And
I always say
It,
I save all my tolerance for my kids.
me too. That's just it. It's like my patience level is about here for people who know me, for my family. So it's about there by the time, oh, yeah. So, Angel, I hear you there. That's another, I think, another topic for another day. It's like, how do you deal with all the ignorant people in the world when it's all you can do to just make sure that your child's okay?
And I understand, Angel, when you say that it's really hard when a person judges your child. I get it. Riley, as much as I hate this saying, when people say she doesn't look autistic, she's high functioning.
You
She,
you just styled her hair differently, Jen. That's why she doesn't look autistic.
well, yeah, the JoJo Siwa bow in her hair made it all perfect, you know.
You're right.
That $6 JoJo Siwa bow makes her all normal now, folks.
Which is the other thing too. It's like if you see an autistic individual in the community who doesn't look autistic, go either say thank you to their parent, go find their social worker, their therapist, anybody, and say thank you to them because well, in some cases.
It took when Riley was first diagnosed, we were told she would never be verbal. And I remember looking at that doctor and saying, "You don't know me at all. I am the daughter of a special needs mother. I saw my mother fight. I saw my mother go up against the government for care. I saw how hard my mother fought. And I saw the emotional toll it took on her. And I know my mother is sitting in the next room right now listening to me, probably going, are we really having this conversation? But I saw my mother go through so much
Mhm.
that when I was told Riley wouldn't talk, I just looked at her and said, yep, okay. I walked out. I got, you know, those baby carriers where you put the baby on you and you carry them around everywhere?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got one of those. I tossed her bum in there. And everything I did, I explained to her. Everything from cooking to cleaning. She was constantly being. I, there were probably a billion times when Riley was a toddler where she would want to cover her ears and be like, Mommy, just be quiet for 2 minutes. But I fought so hard for every single skill my daughter has.
Hmm.
Her therapist fought so hard for every single skill she has. And Kori, I know even though your daughter's nonverbal, you fought for every single skill,
Oh, we
every
are.
little thing.
She learns new signs. We do modified sign language with her, and we were trying to figure out a way for her to be able to ask for her iPad because she's compartmentalized, so she doesn't like using her communication device at home, so she still uses sign language at home. And I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, all right, she wants it. So I looked it up online, iPad, the sign for iPad, and I taught it to her. I showed it to her, and within I think like a couple repetitions, she had the sign down pat. So now she asks iPad, please. Like, all right, okay,
Yep.
I can't.
And that's the thing. Don't look at language as only being verbal language.
Yes.
As long as they are asking in a way that works for you and for them, they're communicating.
Yeah, it's not so much about the language; it's about functional communication.
Yep.
Um, okay, Yvonne
Yes, I want to get
says
to this.
that she says financially it is a struggle. They were living in California and they were receiving in-home supportive services, and it was a great help. They have since moved to Texas, where those services are not available, and that has just added to my depression. This is something that I've come across with a couple of people that I've worked with, um, in that it varies from it really does vary from state to state and even then from county to county and sometimes city to city. And that is really frustrating for me. I don't think I've ever realized just how lucky we are until I've talked to some other families. I'm like, are you kidding? Why wouldn't they offer? Why can't they? And and then, going back to one of the reasons why Jason founded Lucky Kid was that, and I remember talking to him about this too when he and I first connected, was that one of the reasons he did this is because of a lack of awareness and services in Asia. And I've come across that as well through my Facebook page. Like, I've talked to quite a few Filipino moms, and it's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. This is the other reason why I do what I do, because it frustrates me that parents can't get the support and the services that they need for their kids.
Now, I want to get to Callie real quick. You've been looking for a community like this for a while because you don't know anyone going through this and you feel so alone. Callie, I want to give you a couple of quick resources. LAKIKID.com/group is our private Facebook group for parents. Kori also has her own community, Kori at Home. Is that it, Kori?
It is actually Autism Family Life.
Okay.
It's my Facebook group.
Side note, Kori, I need to get in your Facebook group tonight. I keep meaning to do that because Kori and I are we're two-pieced in a pod. We connect. We're very different, but we're very much the same. Our struggles are very different, but our struggles, like all of you, are the same. And we want our community to know both sides because each group brings a different thing to the table.
I think where our groups are, our communities, while they are, as you just said, very, very similar, they are also very complementary.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Now I want.
And Jess has a son with ADHD and ASD. Her other son is low verbal. It's been 3 years since he has started to talk, and he is a hitter, a biter, and a runner. Ooh. See, my nonverbal daughter, when she was younger, um, she was also a biter. She was not a hitter. She did not hit, but she did bite. And she was an eloper. She still is. She has a history of eloping. That is our every 4 year now. It seems like it's every 4 years that she just gets this really big. Um, she's gotten out of the house twice, and that was a nightmare.
Yes.
That was a living nightmare. The first time it happened, because our house is not too far down from like a really busy intersection. And she got out of the house like middle of the night. She was hungry, so she was looking for food. She unlocked the front door. And she went down to the local McDonald's because she loves their French fries. And then, when we called the police station, they said that they were like 5 minutes away from putting this on our local news and blasting it on the local news. But as I'm talking to the police officer, I can hear my daughter in the background. And, they're asking me to describe her. So, of course, I describe her to a T because I know what she looks like. But it was the aftermath of that. And it wasn't just the having to deal with CPS, because that's also a nightmare because they just don't get it. But I don't think I have slept fully since that night. And that was when she was 8 years old. Yeah, and she's going to be 18 this year. So that's been like 10 years that I don't think I've gotten a full night's sleep.
And parents, I want to say, if your child is a loper like Kori's, I recommend getting a second padlock, but having it backwards.
Yep.
And wearing that key around your neck. I mean, whatever it takes to keep your child safe. There's also door alarms you could buy at any home hardware store, the dollar store, Walmart. It doesn't matter. Keep your if what you have to do to keep your child safe, because as you can see, 10 years later, Kori is still traumatized by this event. Now, mind you, her daughter probably forgot about it within minutes of seeing mommy again.
Oh yeah. Mhm. Um, and I think Jason mentioned too, KultureCity.
Yes.
They have a
Life
safety
blocks.
box. Yep, the life box. Um,
And it comes with a buddy tracker.
yep, which is an awesome thing. And
It comes
yeah,
with stickers for your home and your
yep.
car.
I have two things on my own blog. They're like printable ID cards where you fill out the information, um, name, emergency phone numbers, and all that stuff. Um, okay. Oh, yep. I want to get back to some of the comments too, because Angel said, people being rude and judging her 5-year-old kills. I agree. Um,
Yep.
I hate that too about people. um,
And Yvonne jumps more into it a little bit more in depth because her child wants to do things,
yeah, yeah.
but he's in a pull up, so you bring him out and he's judged.
Oh yeah.
And it's so hard. I bring Riley out.
Hmm.
And I remember last year we went to a local carnival that happens every year in my town. And this woman was standing in line and her daughter kept taking her shoes off in line. And everyone was judging and looking. And I turned around and I looked at her and I said, "Is she autistic by chance?" And she goes, "Yes." And she's never tried a ride, but we want to try. My husband and I want to try. And she said, "But it is so hard being a Black woman trying to do this because everyone thinks we're torturing her when we have to pick her up to move her because she physically would not move herself."
Hmm.
And I remember that really bothered me. So when the one carnival worker commented, I turned around and I may have went off a little bit on, no, they are not hurting their child. They are trying to lift her onto the ride because they feel she would enjoy it because she enjoys that type of movement.
Hmm.
But just moving her in general was very difficult for this child.
Yep.
She was fixated on sitting, taking her shoes on and off. So when daddy picked her up and moved her, yes, she freaked out. She screamed. And people thought they were hurting her when they weren't. They were trying to involve her in the community. I was so thankful when the next ride that they went to, the lady took their tickets and said, "Oh, no, 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 no. She's special needs. Mom and dad ride for free beside her."
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what we need, folks. We need to
Yes.
make our voices heard.
Yes.
The more we talk about mental health, the more we talk about the needs of our children, the more people will understand. I mean, April's Awareness Month, but April's only 1 month out of 12.
Oh, we do autism awareness. We do autism acceptance. That is 7 days a week, 365, 24 hours a day.
Yvonne, like Kori and I said, my child looks normal because I put a bow in her hair. I mean, I'm so tired if she looks normal. My husband once said, "I washed her face this morning."
We have a lot of the moms here too who it's the same thing. It's like buying things for our kids, no problem at all. Buying things for ourselves, big issue. Callie, I'm still afraid I'm saying your name wrong. She said she works at Target. I used to work at Target too, but then I realized how much of a mistake that was because Target just just keep my paycheck because I'm gonna spend it all here anyway.
Yep.
But
But folks, don't be afraid to say, you know, and my husband's more sarcastic than me. Don't be afraid to speak out.
and Yvonne says too. She's like, if she had $1 for every time
Yep.
someone visit. Now, see, Yvonne, there you go. People could pay for your child's therapy.
Exactly. But then she also follows up with, she goes, "I've had to
She's
just
had to fight.
respond with, I wonder what normal looks like." When people say your child looks normal. I love the saying I heard once: normal is the setting on the wash machine.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
about it.
Yep. Yep.
There
Normal
is
is
no normal.
yeah, normal is on a washing machine. And
I mean,
when people talk about the labeling too, I'm like, yeah, labels are for things that you buy.
yep.
Am I for sale? Nope. Is my child for sale? Absolutely not. May I think about it sometimes? Yes. But you don't put your child for sale on eBay, you put them on Etsy.
Yes, because they're homemade. You made that child, so they're homemade. But normal doesn't even count in neurotypical families. My sister has 4 kids. She will tell you her life is anything but normal. Friday, she had to leave her children home because her appendix was about to burst. And she had surgery at 1 o'clock in the morning. There is
Yvonne,
no normal.
yes, we can both pop comments to the groups um, in type out links to the comments. We'll drop links to both of our groups here.
Yes.
And for Kali, she says her dream is to work with kids and families with special needs, but I just don't know where to start. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why Jason started Lucky Kid, is so we can work with kids and families with special needs. It's
And I can give more a little bit on the career path.
Mhm.
You can also take
I would love to talk to you further, actually.
yes. But you can also, if you're looking to make a career out of it, you can also look at a personal caregiver course, like a CSW, I think it's called down here.
Oh, Jessica. She said her son used to take off on a major highway at the doctor's one time. Yeah. Yeah. That is my daughter. One time we had just done, we were doing our first family vacation. This is when her father and I were still together. And we were going to Sesame Place because she loves Sesame Street. In Sesame Place in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away from Philadelphia. And we stopped at the mall. We stopped at the Philadelphia Mall. My heart almost dropped. We were walking around like the top level of the mall, and she got loose. She was holding my hand, but then she saw something. Something caught her attention, and she was off like that. I don't think I've ever run that fast in my life, ever, because she was off, and like I didn't care if there were people in my way. My daughter, I had to be able to keep up with her. That's freaking scary. Is when they take off in public.
I agree. Now, unfortunately, we are getting quite late. We've run almost double our time, and I'm not quite done. But there is one more question I want to get to. If your questions were not answered, Kori's group and our LAKIKID group will be posted in the comments section just as soon as we get off live, because Kori and I can't comment while we're on the show. So we will both comment when we're done the show. Possibly Miguel. Miguel, if you have the links for both of them. I don't know if Miguel has your link. If Kori, if you could give Miguel your link in our orange chat.
Sure.
Miguel, if you could take both links for us and drop them in the comment section for us. Angel, I want to get to the Angel Sense, the GPS tracker. Please, please, before you invest any money in a GPS tracker, talk to your school.
Yes.
Our schools refuse to allow them here.
Yep. Because it's a privacy issue.
It's a privacy issue. So do not spend the money without talking to your school board, because for many, it's a waste of money.
This is one other thing I think it's really important to. I know this was supposed to be about the mental health, but Melinda, she said her husband and I took their son to a play date at a special needs group. One parent asked why their son looked normal, and she says she was so taken aback. She felt blindsided by that comment, and she thought it was a safe place for all. Melinda, this is something that I have come across in several special needs sports groups. even in just autism specific support groups, where people are turning this into a war of low functioning versus high functioning. You
Yes.
don't understand because your child's not high functioning, or you don't understand because your child's not low functioning. And I think, without getting into how I really, really feel about it, because I will get into my cursing mode because it makes me so angry, that is such a load of crap. Um, we are all parents. We are all in this. We are all struggling. You can't compare your problems to somebody else's problems. You can't compare your wins with somebody else's wins. This is not the time or the place for judgment. This is the time and place for support. I don't care what your, you know, no, my struggles are not any bigger than somebody else's struggles.
Well, and Kori, look at you and I. You have
Yeah.
an older child.
Hmm.
She's nonverbal.
Hmm.
She's a loper. She's lower functioning. I have a younger child, higher functioning, very
Hmm.
verbal. I mean, she knows words that her teacher asks her not to use because most kids don't understand them. But Kori and I, we both understand each other on the same level because we both have our unique struggles.
Hmm.
And I just want to say, Yvonne, I'm laughing at your comment. Thank goodness for the bow. I agree. Thank goodness that bow in my daughter's
I
hair,
know. I know that though makes all the
that bow makes a
difference.
world of difference.
Hey, maybe if we wear these bows, then we won't look like we have mental health issues, right?
Ooh,
Ooh, ooh.
we need these special little bows, folks.
Bows to hide my.
My new short hair won't handle a bow. It'll have to be a clip on.
The Pebbles bow. You can do it like Pebbles Flintstone.
So, folks, I hope you realize that, yes, we're being serious, but when we're talking mental health, there's also a side where we have to take it lightly.
Yes.
We have to kind of be able to step back and laugh and be like, that was horrific, but it's over. And
Yep.
I mean, it
What was
happened,
what was
but
that
now
Kelly
it's kind of
Clarkson
funny.
song? It's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think it's Kelly Clarkson. I don't know, but
Now,
it
Jason,
is true.
it's very true. Jason has dropped the link for lakikid.com/support. Unfortunately, Miguel has let me know that he cannot post the links while he is producing the show. So Kori will drop her link as soon as we're done on the show in the comments section. I know she wants everyone to have both groups so that we can do something. I have to say what Yvonne just said. This is so true. It's not a competition. It's
It's
about compassion.
yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Yvonne. I want to
100%.
blow that
Yes,
up and put that everywhere.
yes. Maybe that can be our tagline for this collaboration and partnership that we have going between our communities. This is not competition. This is compassion.
Exactly. And I will encourage everyone from our Lackey Kid group to please, when Kori posts her group, join Kori's group.
And
Let's
if you're here
do
from
exactly what
mine, join
Yvonne said.
Lucky Kid. Yes, I'm gonna make sure that I post links for Lucky Kid with my group as well.
Kori, send me the link and I will post it in group. And that way we can kind of cross. We're not a competition, folks. As you can see, Kori and I are both moms. I'm possibly stepping away from the microphone for a few days to deal with my own health issues. And I've actually went to another special needs mom who gets it. Yes, she has her own company and her own side of things, but I've asked Kori to step in and take over for me because we're not in competition with each other.
This is support.
We're what each other has for support, for community, for, I mean, I love all of my special needs moms because I understand what you're going through.
Oh, Melinda said the
Melinda,
bow tie.
Melinda, I was wondering when you were going to say that. Melinda is my humorous one. Yes, let's get the boys a little bow tie
So
and the
we can
girls
do the
with
bow
matching
tie.
hair
Yep.
bows.
So bow ties for the boys, hair bows for the girls. We're gonna start a trend. No more awareness ribbons. We're gonna do awareness bows and bow ties.
That will be. We do have people in our group who could probably make that happen. That would be funny.
Do it. I think it would be awesome.
So I want to thank every single one of you for coming. Again, we will be posting links to both groups, and in her group, she will post the link to our group. In our group, once I get it, I will post a link to her group. I'd like to encourage all of you to band together. Most of us here today have been women, but we do have men. Let's band together as a family of support. It doesn't matter what community you come from, what race, what ethnic background, what financial background, what mental health status you are. We are each other's family and each other's community of support.
No more judgment.
No more judgment.
No more judgment. No more competition. This is about compassion and inclusion and support.
I agree. So I want to thank everyone for joining us today and remind everyone tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a live trivia show to celebrate the Kickstarter launch of this, our writable weighted lap pad. There is a live trivia show. Kori, please let your community know to join us tomorrow, because I will actually be giving away, I can't even remember how many prizes Jason told me.
And wasn't it over $200 worth of prizes?
Over $200 and some worth of prizes, including two passes to Kori's class that we are working on together to help, called Demystifying Behavior. I think we're changing the name, but I'm not sure. Kori and
we're tweaking the name.
Yeah.
But it's the 8-step framework to becoming a calmer parent of an autistic child.
So we're giving away that. We're promoting our Kickstarter launch tomorrow. We're giving away fidget bands, ball chairs, and wiggle seats. So join us. If you can't join us live, still watch the replay, because at the very end, I'm going to give you a way to still win prizes throughout the month of May. I will be giving away 3 prizes every Monday for the whole month of May. So thank you all for joining us today. I'm Jen Eggert, and this is Kori. I can never say Kori's last name.
To Meldon.
Okay. And you can join me every Monday live at 1 p.m. Eastern for more parenting tips. Don't forget, tomorrow's special show is at 1 p.m. Tuesday Eastern Time, where you can join us to try and win prizes and learn more about our Kickstarter launch. It will be Trivia Tuesday, so it will be trivia. So I hope you know your special needs trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, you can always join our Facebook group at LAKIKID.com/group. Kori will be posting her links, and I will post her link in group. We will do the same in her group.
Yes.
So join both of our groups. Until next time, remember, every child brings good luck. And we're done.